Architecture as PAR Integrated Social Science Textbook, Chapter 5, page number 54 and 55. Today, we will discuss the architectural traditions of India, the Hindu temple architecture, the Nagara or the North Indian style, and the Dravida or the South Indian style. Architectural traditions of India. The architecture of our country is soaked in history, culture, and tradition. The art and architectural traditions of our country have developed alongside historical trends. Most of the grand monuments have been built by the rulers who govern us. They saw architecture as a way of symbolizing their power and authority. They patronized artisans and craftspeople in order to leave behind a lasting legacy. We study these monuments to gain an insight into the builders and the period in which these structures were built. Medieval Indian architecture shows a rich diversity. The elements of continuity and change are reflected in the architectural heritage of our nation. The monuments built in the medieval period display a fusion of existing styles and new ideas brought by the invaders who became ruling powers in the subcontinent. Historical monuments are very old buildings which have existed for many centuries. They can be divided into two broad categories: religious buildings such as temples, mosques, churches, stupas, synagogues, and other places of worship, and secular buildings such as forts, palaces, tombs, halls, baulis, havelis, and cities. These two categories are a reflection of the functions that the buildings serve. While religious buildings provided a place of worship, secular buildings had a more practical and everyday use. However, both kinds of buildings had historical and architectural value and left an impression of the ruler in public memory. Hindu temple architecture. Two distinct styles of temple building emerged in India: the Nagara or the North Indian style and the Dravida or the South Indian style. Several scholars mention that some temples combine the elements of both the Northern Indian and the South Indian styles. In both styles, stone pillars and walls are used to support the roof. The Nagara style. Temple built between the 7th and the 14th centuries CE in the Nagara style had mandapas or pavilions. The sanctum where the deity was placed was known as the Antralaya. The Pradakshina allowed devotees to walk around the temple. A distinctive feature was the beehive-shaped Shikhara tower above the shrine. The gateways were simple and modest. The Jagannath temple at Puri, the Lingaraja temple at Bhubaneswar, the Sun temple at Konark are fine examples of the North Indian style of architecture. In central India, the Kandariya Mahadeva temple at Khajuraho is noted for its superb sculpture. The city was the cultural capital of the Chandela Rajputs, who ruled between the 10th and 12th centuries CE. Variants of the Nagara style can also be seen in Gujarat and Rajasthan. The Dilwara temples in Mount Abu at Rajasthan are noted for the use of marble. They have lavishly decorated pillars and exquisite carvings on the ceilings. Now let's move on to the Dravida style. Temples constructed in the Dravida style had several characteristics. The deity was placed in a chamber called the Garbha Griha. On top of this, a pyramid-shaped tower called Vimana was placed. In the front, there was a hall or mandapa. Highly ornate entrance gateways called Gopurams were a distinctive feature. The Sor temple at Mahabalipuram or Mamalapuram and the Kailas Natha temple at Kanchipuram are superb examples of the South Indian style of architecture. The Brihadeswara temple at Thanjavur is the most famous example of Chola architecture. The Meenakshi temple at Madurai is also an excellent example of fine construction and ornate style. Temples at Belur and Halibut are a contribution of the Hoysalas. The architectural excellence of the Vijayanagar Empire can be seen in the splendid ruins of Hampi. With this, let us conclude our class for today. Thank you.